I heard they discontinued the MPC Live 2. Well, we're going to make beats with MPC 3. It's going to be a long video. I got all kinds of things in store. A little bit of list edit, a little bit of homage, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So let's just sit back and chill, man. It's been a while. It's your brother. What's going on, guys? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for overtime grind. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. And today I got my Live 2. The OP1's there, but I'm not using it. We're just doing everything with the Live 2. I got one of my keyboards, well, two of my keyboards. I'm going to use both of these little keyboards. And we're going to make a beat. I'm going to do it from scratch. Right now, I'm using one of the kits from my expansion pack. It's the Queensbridge from Native Instruments. Queensbridge expansion. You can check that out down in the description. While you're there, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. All of that stuff. It really helps the channel, helps this video get out into the algorithms for all those people who actually make beats every day, you know? So right now I have my BPM at 182. And you know, we just started from 4 bars, so we're going to build from 4 bars out. Let's start with the obvious, man. I heard they discontinued the MPC Live 2. I'm kind of happy about it, to tell you the truth. The cool thing about gear is whenever they make new iterations of the gear, you know, a major part of the user base goes and buys that, and then they transfer to that. But each one has a different sound and has different capabilities, different limitations, different things of that nature. Right now I have one keyboard set to one octave, and then I have the other keyboard set at another octave. You know, so that way I could effectively play all sides of the keyboard without having an 88 key. You get what I mean? Yeah, I like that. You know, this generation of MPCs is about to be outdated. I kind of knew that new MPCs were coming. I didn't need them to tell me or announce that new MPCs were coming. You know, the thing that told me was, and just looking at the way that it's set up, if you have like a MPC1 or if you have a certain machines, it has the program edit button. And program edit in MPC3 has been changed to track edit. So, you know, right there lies the fact that most MPCs are going to be changed just to label the button different. So it probably can expect a new MPC X, XSE, a new MPC1 Plus, a new MPC1. We could probably expect all kinds of new model MPCs rolling out just off the fact of the track edit button. Now with the Live 2, you know, you got your next sequence button. You have the plus minus. You know, there's some better things they could do with button placement. Probably give more RAM. You know, especially as they roll out more plugins. But, you know, for me, I have a Kai Force. I seen that the Force was probably going to be updated this month, like May 20th. That sounds pretty dope. You know, I have a 2 MPC ones. I ended up getting another black O.G. MPC, just replacing that. Then I still have my retro MPC, and then I have my live too. And all the 2 MPC ones have program edit buttons. You know that's gotta change. Right now I'm cleaning up my piano. The keys from Homage. Just want to take my time today. You know, it's been an eventful year. It's been a lot going on. I'm thankful for the good and the bad, you know, no problems. Always feel blessed that we can create, you know what I mean? To have these tools. Goes kind of what I'm saying about them phasing out these machines, you know. As people go get the new machines, we can have our own sound. And I'm happy for that. You know, we could start to expand, and all of us who are on these machines have our own sound. And so I kind of look forward to that this year. I look forward to, you know, what the cap is going to be. And I've just been sitting and enjoying and making music and expanding the palette, trying different sounds, trying different things, you know, really building out. And that's one of the things I want to talk to you guys about is, you know, as these machines phase out and things start to change, as you've seen on this channel, I stay pretty much with the same gear over and over. It's not because we can't afford new gear. It's not because we're not in the race for new gear. It's because at the root of this, we do this to make music, right? And all the gear in the world doesn't help you make better music, right? It might make it easier. It might give you a shortcut. It might make it a little bit more efficient. It might do some of those things, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what's really going to help you make the music that you want to make is time. Putting the time in on the machines, putting the time in on a specific OS, putting time in learning the library, putting time in. And time is something we have a lot of, and we could probably all do better with managing. So right now I have Sub Factory open, and I'm using one keyboard to play the low notes and using the other keyboard to add the glides. To the arrangement mode, and I'm going to check out and make sure I got them all right. Some of the stuff that some people might consider as meticulous, but I feel like they work out really good, you know what I mean? This is one of those things where MPC flourishes. You take your time and you can go through and you can really get things. That's what I wanted to show today with the list edit, you know. You could go through and keep fixing up and get your beat all the way right, but you gotta be able to know where to go, you know. So now that we got this lined up, we're gonna go ahead and name it. I'm gonna stack these drums with a couple drum kits. Let's add some low-fly dirt to that, probably. I really like that plug-in. I think it sounds really good. That 1200 preset, you could throw that on anything. If you really want the wham, put that joint on. It's gonna go crazy. You know, some days I think about how much is enough. You know, how much can they give me in my MPC before I have too many options and then I stop using things. Been working on a drum kit called It's All There. I'm gonna finish working on that and I'm gonna put that up there. Make sure you grab that Smackers kit. Check out the different things. If you grab the O.T.G Stimmy Pack, O.T.G Stimmy Pack, that's how you can support this channel. I don't do too many advertisements. You see some advertisements in my shorts, but I don't do ads, so that way you guys can know that if I talk about something or if you see it, it's genuine. It's not because somebody is forcing me or making me talk about it, or it's how I'm keeping the lights on. Music is how we keep the lights on, and you guys and your support at my Gumroad store, that's how you guys keep the channel going. So check out the Stimmy Pack, check out all the different things. I'm working on a new kit called It's All There Kit. These sounds you're hearing right now, they're in the kit. It's 4 banks of drums, kicks, snares, hi-hats, 1 bank of, as of right now, 1 bank of effects and percussions and different things like that. I have everything super loud samples. You know, I've normalized them, I've mixed them through some things, I've went through my library and chose the sounds that I like, and I feel like are very necessary to modern production. So that kit's coming. It's All There kit. If you got the Stimmy Pack, I'll be adding it to that. The Stimmy Pack is all of the expansions, entry level to the MPC course, mostly 2.15 videos, some MPC3 beta videos, all of the chord progressions. You guys know I have a major. You get my whole chord progression library. Over $200 worth of stuff. You could go check that out. The price does go up on May 20th as well. So right now it's $25. The price is going up. Make sure you go check that out. You can get that. Definitely grab that and then get the It's All There kit. Lifetime updates, so as I add things, you can grab that. But here's the track edit screen. It's one of the most important screens on the MPC. If you're in a drum program, track edit, program edit is what's going to take you to a whole nother level. It can take basic drums and turn them into super drums. It could take a basic kit and turn it into a great kit. It could take a basic drum pack and turn it into a great drum pack. Is I want to try to get everything in the pocket. Some of those sounds, they are mono. Now we're going to go to Jura, and we're going to utilize Jura to add a synthesizer. I'm not going to use too many sounds, but I'm definitely going to utilize a lot of drum sounds. One of the things that I noticed is that sometimes when you use the mod wheel, it doesn't pick up. This is one of the reasons why I like having two keyboards, is you're able to do some things that you aren't able to do on just one keyboard. thing about this style of making music. I hope you guys get it when you watch the videos. You know, whether you start with the drums or you start with the melody, either way it goes, you can end up with the beat. You know, if you take your time, I know a lot of guys say they have a problem sitting down, getting beats done, right? A lot of it is just your mindset. You gotta change your mindset. You have all of the tools right in front of you. You have everything that you need to get it done, whether you have plugins or not, you know? So right now I'm going to mess with the mod wheel, and you're going to see, you know, we turn on the automation. We're trying to record it in. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it was not going in. Probably a bug in MPC 3. What I did notice is that if you use it on the screen, it works a little better, but you know, that's probably one of those bugs they gotta work out. I don't like stopping the music, but I also think sometimes maybe you gotta stop and press play for it to come back in. See, so when I stopped and played, you could see the automation, you could see it moving now. Therefore, it could be a bug. I'm not sure. But again, you take your time, have patience. You can get it in there, bugs or not. You know, I know that sometimes it could be a little frustrating to have to fight through the bugs. I know that'll be some people's excuse for why they have to upgrade or update. You know, but get the new MPCs or go to another machine or make 1,000 videos talking about why the MPC isn't capable. But what I wanted to show with this video, because it is super long, it's going to be over an hour, and I ran into a lot of roadblocks. But what I wanted to show guys is the ability of just how to maneuver, you know, from maneuvering inside of my MPC. I have a SD card, a 300 gig SD card that's normally inside of my MPC 1. That's where I was making the It's All There kit. So navigating through there to bring the kit in, then saving that kit to internally inside of the Live 2. You know, making 2 separate drum kits. So right now I'm about to make a drum kit using the 808s. That's why we muted the first drum kit that we got from the Queensbridge expansion. I'm going to do some work to this pack of 808s that I got from SOUNDPACKS. I buy a bunch of loops and then I work on them. I'm using, that I'm going to use. But again, all this stuff will be added to the STEMI pack. That's why I add lifetime updates. It's a great community. We grow together, you know? See, you could build your kit out in real time. That's one thing that I like to do as well. You know, so we're going to tune this 808 now, program edit, your favorite screen. Normally I would do it from sample screen 2. But we're going to start it here so we can see the key. So notice that I selected the semi box. That's the semi box on that screen. And I'm turning it with the rotary knob, the main dial. And once I find the key that I like, I'm going to utilize the find to try and get it right. Go to sample screen 2 and fine tune it. Right now we're utilizing 16 levels. Small adjustments. I think we got it. If we need to adjust again, we can always go back and adjust again. I think I'm going to add just one little offbeat 808 at the end. I think we're good now. Now let's build out this kit some more. Let's go ahead and color our pad. I was on the wrong bank. So we're on bank B. It's all good. We're just gonna build out from there. Let's go ahead and color the pads. We're gonna go ahead and color these pads all the way through. I'll save this kit too. I'll add it to the O.T.G Stimmy pack. It's a great kit. It sounds pretty good. Sometimes you gotta just build to kill it out yourself. Sometimes you could get the kits and they're already together, and then other times you gotta get the kit, you gotta make the kit. Choose it sound by sound and you take your time. When you're doing something like this, you should probably gain stage. That's what it's called. Gain stage. Set your gain as you go through. That's why I do it right from the track edit screen. Program edit / track edit. Right now what I'm doing is going through my drum programs folder. So I have a drum programs folder that I've added to my sounds menu. And as I make kits that I like or find kits that I like, I save them to the drum program folder. Now when I am making beats or I'm looking and I want to make a kit, but I don't want to go look through a bunch of different folders, or I don't want to be lost. I just need to find sounds that I know are going to work. I go to that folder, the drum programs, and then there we have all of the sounds from all of the drum programs I've saved. sounds that can complement the first kit. This could be a main kit, maybe for a verse or for a slight part or something of that nature. But I also want to beef up the main kit. And I'll probably use the volume. Use the volume to place it in all different places inside of the beat. That's an important thing to know. You use your volume and you could place things in certain parts. Make sure everything has its own space. You get what I mean? You could utilize panning too, but in this specific beat with the drums, I want the drums to sound electric, not like a electric kit emulating real drums. So I'm gonna keep everything in the middle, but we're going to just play with the volumes of things. I like to color my perks, and my perks are purple, my kicks are red, my perks are light blue, and my effect sounds, they're light blue. My snares are yellow, snares and claps, snaps. Kicks are red. Hi-hats are orange. 808's green sometimes. Sometimes I just make them red. Now I'm just going to operate right from the track edit screen, program edit. One thing about the MPC is your ability to be able to do anything and everything from one screen. You kind of get what I'm saying? Still being able to record. From most screens you could do almost everything. There's a couple things you can do on certain screens, but for the most part you can automate and get everything together, you know? I want to go through most of these sounds one by one. Get them together. Your time, but again, you know, what's the worst case scenario? You don't like it, just delete the track. Sometimes that's all you need to think about. Put this work in, do these things, and what you get, might like it. If you don't like it, guess what you could do? Delete the track. Nothing is forever unless you want it to be. I think a lot of people forget that when they're on their MPC, that you're in control. And yeah, you spend spend a lot of time, like, we might spend a lot of time trying to get one sound to work, and then it doesn't work. We can delete that track. We can leave it in there to the end. We can mess with the volume. You have the ability to do all of these things. Again, it's a full capable machine with a big, beautiful screen that, if utilized properly, you could spend hours on hours on, you know? And everything you need to do is there. Really about just being patient. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Today we just cooking up. We taking a slow grind today. Pause. A lot of the videos that I release going forward will be a lot different. You know, it go a little bit more in depth. Some days we'll cook up quickly, some days we're going to take our time. You know, especially if there's new MPCs coming out, you know what I mean? You know, stick where we at, and we're going to really start to expand and see how far we could push these machines. You know, we'll know what the limitation can be now when they move to new ones. And that's great, because now we can push it to its limits. We know what we got from top to bottom, you know what I mean? I'm excited, man. I know that sounds weird. I'm kind of excited because I want to see what the top is. You know, what is the final destination for our MPCs? When do they say enough is enough? When do they say, you know, there's nothing more that we can update? We can't do anything else. We're done. If you these won't be supported on the legacy MPCs. You need new MPCs in order to get this new plugin or get this new update or do this or do that. I'm excited for that day, because then it's like people who use the MPC 2500 or the 3000 or the 60 or certain models. Like now we're in legacy models and we can become masters of the legacy model. Especially as people start moving into the newer models. You get what I'm saying? that's pretty dope. I'm pretty excited about that. These machines have had a long run, longer than I thought. They've been super generous. I'm excited. So we just saved the It's All There kit. I named it the add-on kit. We want to do all this so when we get to our mutes, we can know what it is. We got our 2 drum kits now. We got a bass line. We got our drum kit from the Queensbridge expansion. Stimmy pack, grab that. We could switch to our other drum kit that we just made. We are cooking. To try to get an idea of what it's going to sound like, especially when I'm cooking like this and it's on the go. I want to get an idea of how I'm going to start organizing and putting it together. Also, figuring out what I'm going to do with the sounds. You know, if I'm going to make another sequence, what exactly I'm going to do. Here's something that people ask a lot. What happens when you mess up and you're recording the mutes? Well, today you're going to learn, you're going to see. So make sure you stay. Hopefully you've been patient. Try not to talk too much. You know, I had a birthday. I turned 45. Had actually a pretty good day. Been learning some life lessons since then. Definitely feel like I woke up a little bit chiller. 45 is half of 90. Thinking about starting a podcast on this channel, adding the audio up here, merging some of my fan bases. Yeah, I thought about redoing the brand. It got a lot of different things. You'll just see it. I'm not going to tell you too much, but you'll see it. Right now, I decided instead of looping it out first, recording the mutes, and then to show you a trick of how to set up the layers of strings by using MIDI synths. I don't see a lot of people show this. I've showed it a lot. You can get that in the MPC, my MPC Masterclass. You buy the highest level, it comes with the expansions and some kits. But I showed mostly how to use MIDI synths to be able to mute tracks and use tracks in an old way, in the way that we're used to. You can create a MIDI synth track, and then you could utilize that to mute and unmute, so that way you have access to the snares, the hi-hats, and all of that if you want to do it in a one-by-one way. So right now I noticed that pressing copy and paste was not working. I select the note, press copy, press paste, wasn't working. So what we have under that menu as well is duplicate. So we could use duplicate, and then we could move the note over. And then that way we have our string stab. All right, now I'm using Solina. I always tell you guys, use the old plugins. And for you guys who have those plugins that come for free, they're really good. I use them all the time. So what I want to do now is add a different part of the strings. And since I want to do that, they're still super loud. Selena's super loud. Great volume. I like to use studio strings too, but sometimes you're going to get it done with these. So now I want to play these with the, I want to see how these strings are going to sound with both drum kits. Maybe you notice that I'm playing both the drum kits together now, and they sound really good, you know, so that's why we took all that time of putting the gain staging and getting the volumes proper. Again, that's why it's super important to utilize your track edit program edit screen. Super, super important. So now I'm going to name this strings. And instead of playing the strings all on one track, I'm going to make a MIDI track. We're going to utilize MIDI send. And now we're going to send the strings, send this MIDI to our Solina strings. So that way we can record another part of the strings on the same sequence. This stops us from having to make multiple sequences when we could just utilize our track mutes. Remember what I told you, we're going to have a track mute disaster happen. It's on the way. make another MIDI track right now. We're going to long press. We're going to just go ahead and name it Strings Part 3 or Strings Mid. We're going to go to our MIDI synth. We'll scroll over the strings, Solina. And now we can play our third part. And we have it all separated on different tracks. So because it's coming from the same machine, all of the effects will sound the same, and the volumes will be the same. Even though when I go to my mix, I still like to I still like to fix the volumes and have them match. But here we go, guys. So I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know what's going on, but I've noticed that there's been a couple errors with the track mute screen. It's been giving me some problems, especially when I want to get into some serious work. So now as I start to double it out, we have already spent our time looking at it and thinking about how we want it to go. I feel like I just pressed record watching it back, which is an old habit. That might be the user error. I don't think I did though. But you could see there was an issue when I tried to start it with events. See? When I try to start it muted with the events, and I've even tried to scroll back all the way to the 1, right? So I wanted it to start off with just the piano, but it's unmuting and muting on its own. It's being weird. And the weirdness of it was throwing me off. The second thing that threw me off is I made this beat today at 182 BPM, right? And so essentially when you think about that, that's double time. So I was only able to get probably a verse in, or a verse and a half. And I wasn't really thinking about that as well. So the beat was advancing super fast. Which made me change some of my decisions. So the first thing I did is hit the cog wheel to make sure I could undo the mutes that I did, but for some reason the undo didn't show up. So my next step was, let's just play over and I could correct some of the mutes and try to get them right. But that created a bigger mute nightmare. I spent a lot of time on this beat, and this became the perfect time to enter list edit. And so now on list edit operates on the track that you're on. So you could see it and then you just press delete. Now, in the method that we're doing, you got to go track by track and delete every one. Just as I'm doing right now. And you'll see it. It'll be labeled. But list edit keeps every single event that you have, that a drum track has, and you could go in there and edit each and every aspect of it and every part of it. Some people make beats that way. I've watched Ben Jordan make a beat that way. Incredibly crazy. It's really no different than using something like the Poly-N tracker. You know, the tracker method, the M8. Really no different. So right now we're cleaning up. You can see all the mutes that went into the list edit. I'm just scrolling through and deleting. But what I did notice is even after I go through each and every one of these tracks, right? I noticed that there were still ghost mutes. Again, I don't know if that's a phantom bug, but we still take the time to work around it. We go through. I think the list edit is cool because as you're making beats, I tell people all the time, things like this is why you're a producer. People have all these beat maker producer convos, but this right here is the proof that you're a producer, because this is the music notes. This is the notes that's for each track. So if you play the piano, you have all of the notes that's there for the piano. This is what somebody could print out and turn into sheet music. You could take that sheet music, give it to a producer, a keyboardist or a pianist, and then they could play it. Something that you played right on your keyboard or right from your MPC, not even knowing how to play music, right? Your kick and your snare, your hi-hats, all of that stuff is written out and listed in a way where people can play that music and replay it. You know, when we talk about the power of the MPCs and what they do, especially these new MPCs, they're definitely made in a way that can help you and accelerate you in a lot of ways. Some of the older machines, you know, people would have to listen and somebody would have to actually write the music for you. these newer machines, it's got all the notes, everything is written down. But at the end of the day, you composed it. If you take a piano sample and you play it in a certain method over a certain BPM and it creates a new composition, that means you wrote that composition. You are a producer. You produced your own composition, utilizing maybe other samples and different things. This is where you give writer share, splits, and co-production. All right. List Edit. A great place, a great tool to know and start to navigate in. Definitely a place that you could go and start to clean your stuff up, you know. So now we're back. I had to go back to my List Edit. You can still see there's still some issues and some errors with trying to do it, but we're going to try to work through it. Again, trying to clean them up. Still have some room, but part of how I'm messing up now is I'm still switching in between events and the main mute. But for you, what I would say is remember you can always go back. You could do it a couple times. So maybe you just focus on one sound at a time. You know, for me, what I was going to have to do with this beat is I'm going to have to spend a lot more time on it. And eventually I might do a 2-hour video for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you like it or if you would be up to watch it. But I might do a 2-hour video, you know, especially on days like this where I still needed to double the beat out. I wanted to make it longer. I wanted to have 3 verses, you know, so then I was going to have to go back and erase all of the mutes again in order to get it right. You know, and what I would do really is copy this sequence to another sequence. And then if I wanted to do this all over again, I could do it all over again. That is what I would do when I would get in a situation like this. But hopefully you guys found some value in this video, man. It was a long video. Like I said, I try not to talk too much. I wanted you guys just to hear the music and just chill and be able to watch. I didn't want to overcomplicate and over-explain. Thank you for everybody who donated and sent stuff in for my birthday. Shout out to you guys. It was April 30th. I'm 45. I got a bunch of new videos and things, ways that I want to do the videos. Bunch of ways of delivering the information and different things that I want to be able to provide in a new way with you guys. So, you know, I've seen a bunch of different things going on. I've seen a bunch of the newer videos. And what I really want to do is try to provide like I've been doing for the last 2 years. So here's the thing, Enlist Edit. If you find a glitch, one of the things I want to do is fix where that is. So this is why I say it's like the tracker. I hit the cogwheel in the corner. That cogwheel, I turned on follow, and then we could follow it, we could watch. I got my finger on the stop. When we come across a sound that I don't like or the issues that I'm trying to fix, we'll stop it, and then we could go erase it. You get what I'm saying? But I really just want to try to provide different types of content and explore the MPCs in different ways. I produce every day. I'm blessed for that. I make music every day. I'm blessed for that. And I really want you guys to be able to enjoy and have fun with your MPCs. We can build and get better sound. We can grow, and we can grow as a community. You know, so let me know what tips helped you out. Let me know what you learned or you felt like you learned. Let me know what I can expound on for the next time. But you can see right now, I'm running through the list edit. This is what you got to do. Sometimes if you use the mute method, you take your time, you go and find it. You know, take your time on your MPC, build out. Especially if you got an MPC Live 2. You know, we're about to be here on these machines for a long time. I'm not selling mine. I'm sticking with mine. I'm thinking about now, as soon as they announce new MPCs, I want that MPC X. That's what I want. As soon as they say it's outdated and we know they're coming with new ones, I want to lock in forever with all this whole line of MPCs. You know what I mean? I want to have the X, the Force, the Live 2. I don't want the Live 2, MPC 1, Key 67, Key 61, Key 37. I'm going to grab all of them. I think that we are in a defining time that's going to sound great. I think these machines are going to be historic, like the 2500 and the 3000. Or the 2000 XL, or the 60, you know what I mean? I think it's gonna be dope, man. You guys let me know. Let me know how you feel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Make sure you check out everything I have for sale at the Gumroad. It'll definitely help with lighting. I've done some more stuff with the video. The screen's a little bit clear. Could definitely use some lights, definitely some other stuff. Now let's build it, guys. 2025 is our year. I'm trying to come up with a name for the community. What do we want to be? I need some mods for my channel. I need a lot of different things. So if you're interested, hit me up. If you stayed this long, hop in the comments. In this phase of my YouTube channel, I'm looking to build something long-term community that we stick together and work together. So I'm looking for some mods. You know, I got a community over at Twitter who tweet a lot and are into all kinds of things, music. I'm looking for some mods at that community. It's got 300 plus people who want to talk about hip hop. I have a Discord with 2,000 people. Get with me, man. 2025, I'm looking to grow, build, connect. You know, let's get it together. We got another one done. Hopefully you found some value. Check everything out. It's your brother O.T.G.